All right, welcome people. Welcome to another installment. Welcome to another video. As I promised you guys on the last video that I made about Jason Whitlock and his criticism on Stephen A. Smith's on three-part docu-series called Up for Debate. I promised you guys I got somebody left a message in my chat while I was doing that video, and they talked about something about a lawsuit with Shilo Sanders. I'm like, lawsuit? I gotta look into that. So I've looked into it, and as I promised, I told you guys that I would be making a video about that. And as I always like to do, instead of me rattling off my mouth about what I think, I'm going to read an article that's pertaining to what's going on with Shiloh and give my commentary on the content that's provided, but also giving my 2 cents on how I think this impacts the perception of the football team and how this impacts the Sanders family in their relationship with Colorado University in terms of their football program. Because one thing we have to understand that there's more to Colorado than just the football team. The football program is just the one component out of many that comprises what Colorado football truly entails. So I'll give you guys some time to get in here before I begin, and it's going to be very interesting. And a lot of the times you hear people talking about Colorado being a circus. So that's why the title of this video is exactly what it is. Is it Colorado Circus, Colorado Football Circus, or Colorado Football Program? And as we are going to see after this analysis, you're going to be able to make up your own judgment of what you think is going on. Um, it's kind of funny how if this happened to Cormani or this happened to somebody else, and not a lawsuit to this degree, if anything, that had to be tied with Cormani in this sense, oh my goodness, the amount of vitriol and opposition that would come against him that would affirm his immaturity and how he's not suited for, college football, his character, he's lazy, he smokes weed. You're going to see in this article, you're going to see some immature things that Shiloh did when he was younger, albeit though it's okay. I'm not indicting him. I mean, he's older now. This happened when he was in high school a long time ago. And I'm sort of the kind of person that allows to provide grace to certain things because I was young too. I did things that was stupid when I was young as well. And I don't hold this against people. And this happened in 2015. All right. And I'm sure he's grown from that. But oftentimes our past has a way of coming back to not necessarily haunt us, but sort of remind us of what we've done. So that's why it's very important that as we're living in real time, that we try to evade some of these mistakes. So this video again, I repeat, is going to be about Shilo Sanders and about the lawsuit. And I didn't know about this, so somebody gave me the information yesterday. Again, I'll tell you guys, I don't keep up with Colorado. I don't have a. I'm into a lot of things. I don't focus on Colorado football 24/7. So there's sometimes where when information does come out that's recent, I won't get it till probably a week later. But I was fortunate enough that somebody in the chat during my last video mentioned something about Shiloh's lawsuit. They were like, "Hey, are you going to talk about the lawsuit?" I'm thinking about what lawsuit. So as I promised, I was going to look into it. So here we go. It's about 4 minutes in. This is giving people enough time to come in. And though right now I'm live, I don't have any viewers right now. That's okay. But hopefully you guys will tune in when you have time. I understand this is Sunday. People are going to church. People have activities that they're doing. And a lot of people have things that are going on today. This Memorial weekend. All right, so we're going to get into it. I'm going to share. And then again, I'm going to give a disclaimer. If I sense that there's a lot of glitching going on, I'm going to just stop sharing. And yesterday with the Jason Whitlock video that I did, the feedback that I was getting in terms of the streaming quality was pretty decent. I didn't sense a lot of glitching, but I'm thinking it's because I did that video late at night, and I guess it's not that busy with the signaling traffic in my house because usually like right now, wife's probably watching Netflix, kids are watching YouTube. There's a lot of things going on, so I guess there seems to be a conflict with the signaling. But again, I'm going to try it again with sharing a video, and hopefully the quality doesn't glitch too much. Okay, here we go. All right. Now I'm looking at the feedback. There's a little bit of glitching on that video. See this video right here, the commercial that's going on? See it right here?
Minute Clinic.
See, there's a little bit of glitching going on there. So they might be a little bit of glitching with me speaking, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's get started here. All right, so the title says this. You know me, I'm big on highlighting. I'm big on breaking down the words. It says Shilo Sanders files for bankruptcy to absolve $11.8 million judgment tied to assault. That's a lot of money. And looking at this article, you always have to ask yourself two questions when you look at an article. All right, is the article's title trying to appeal to my emotional heartstrings, or is the title of the article stating a fact, an objective fact, or proclaiming to put forth the fact, and is the article going to be given its due diligence to actually speak on the title? So when I look at this title, it says Shilo Sanders files for bankruptcy to absolve $11.8 million judgment tied to assault. There's nothing biased about this article. There's nothing in this article. There's no words in here that elicits an emotional response from me. As a matter of fact, it just states the point. It says who, Shilo Sanders, what happened? He filed for bankruptcy. Why? To absolve 11.8 million judgment. You know, why? Tied to an assault. It's just simple. Okay. So there's no emotional response. So this is not an article that some of you that don't like to think, this is not an article about hate, and this is not an article about love. This is actually a true journalistic title that's just stating facts. Now it's left up to us as people to add our own nuances and our own perspectives based upon the content that the article provides. Okay, so now I'm going to get into that right now. All right. So it says Coach Prime's son trying to wipe out a figure, right? Trying to wipe out a figure tied to alleged assault from 2015. Now, they'll love to use the word alleged. Alleged is something that's used a lot when people speak because everyone's afraid of being sued, but either it happened or it didn't. There's a lawsuit that's being tied to this. And you don't have to say alleged, but I guess that's just the politically correct thing to say because nothing is proven until you prove it in a court of law. But we all understand that the law system is just as corrupt as any other system. So there are instances where we see people on camera doing crimes, and then they'll still say alleged crime, or they'll say the alleged victim got away. No, it's not an alleged victim. Somebody had a gun, they were shooting at somebody, and the person they were shooting at got away. When you say alleged, it's almost assuming that what we're seeing with our own eyes isn't true. So I hate the use of that term. But anyway, Coach Prime's son, it says here, this is a subtitle, Coach Prime's son trying to wipe out a figure tied to alleged assault from 2015. You say, what's the figure? The figure is the 11.8 million. He's trying to wipe that out. Okay. All right. Let's get into the article here. All right. It says, and the reason why I'm pausing, I'm looking at myself on my computer to make sure that I'm not glitching too much. I'm moving because my movement seems to be a little fluid. Seems to be a little bit of lag, but not that bad. Okay. All right. I'm going to start now. It says Colorado safety Shilo Sanders filed for bankruptcy in December 2023 to absolve an $11.89 million judgment against him tied to an assault when he was in high school, according to court records. He was in high school. So again, if you're here thinking that I'm going to be bashing Shilo Sanders and bashing the Sanders family, I'm not. I'm very objective. He was in high school at this time. We've all done stupid things, be it shoplifting, being stealing, or doing something that showed lack of judgment on our parts. Because when we're young in high school, our brains are not fully developed. We're very impulsive. All right. We don't think. We just don't respond very well at that age. And we've all made mistakes. Some not as egregious as this, but we've all been there. So I'm not here gonna say, oh, look at him, Deion Sanders is a horrible father because look at what his son did. I'm not gonna do that. Because we have great parents that sometimes their kids do stupid things. It's not a direct reflection on the parenting, it's just a direct reflection on reality. It just happens. Okay. So this is just stating facts. So moving along here. All right. The filing of the bankruptcy, that's what they're talking about. The filing raises concerns about Sanders' history and a lack of NIL earnings reported to the court. Sanders is talking about Shilo. The bankruptcy schedule initially gathered on December 19th, 2023, shows Sanders claiming $477,881 in assets, including $300,000 in a Robinhood account and $8,000 in $8K in a Wells Fargo account. Now, this portion that I just read here about his money, this is when you become so popular, or not so popular, but when you become well known, then now your financial information is now advertised for the public. And this is what I try to speak about, that you have to guard yourself from. When you're a football team, stick to football. When you start doing extracurricular things and living as if you're already in the NFL while you're in college, people start digging. Remember, this incident happened in 2015, and he filed for bankruptcy in December of 2023. We are in 2024, month of May. So this is not recent. This is not like he filed bankruptcy yesterday. This is something he's already done. But eventually, people who do digging, they get information. And when they get information, they post it. All right. And the fact that we know about how much money he has now is going to allow people to kind of judge him even more or judge him less. I don't know. People who don't have much money may get more envious of this. Do you know how many college kids right now who play sports would be envious? They don't even know what 300,000 looks like. He has that in a Robinhood account, $8,000 in a Wells Fargo account. Some of these kids are in the hundreds in their bank accounts. They don't have that much money. So I'm sure anyone on his football team may see this. Inquisitive minds may start to delve into this content and delve into the information and start to see, hey, man, this dude has a lot. Man, I didn't think he was that rich. Oh, God, look at what he has. Look at me. So in my opinion, I'm not a journalist. I'm not an expert. This is a factual statement that's written about his account, but I'm going to give my 2 cents about this. This information that I highlighted cannot be good for the football team, the camaraderie of the football team, because it's posted how much money he makes. Because this is not about football anymore. Now, you may say, but the NIL is tied to it. We understand that. But it doesn't mean that we have to count people's pockets. The fact that they are exposing how much money he has in his accounts, Robinhood accounts, Wells Fargo accounts, or how much money he has in assets, $477,881. The fact that they're showing all this cannot be good for the typical college student that's a teammate. There you go. We're on the same team, but you're operating on a different realm, on a different standard than I am. Does that mean they're going to lose every game? I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that it's not good for team chemistry and team camaraderie. For anyone of you guys that played sports, and I played sports too, the one thing you want to have is that we have a all for one for all mentality, that we're all on the same page, that we're all struggling college students. Of course, some are struggling more than others, but relatively speaking, we're all in this together. If I'm a college student, a broke college student that's struggling, and even if I'm making it with the bare necessities, it's not like I'm poor or like I'm not eating. I'll get my meals provided. I have room and board. I get that. Those are the bare necessities, right? To function. If I'm functioning off of the bare necessities, and then I see this about one of my teammates, I'm like, man, do they have the same drive as I? Are we on this together? Because he's in a different planet right now. So this information here cannot be good for the team morale and the team chemistry. It just won't be. Now, to the adults out there that are blind supporters of Coach Prime, this means nothing. You guys marginalize the details and focus on Prime, the character, and Prime, the personality. I'm focusing on the little details because every little thing is going to impact the season. Mark my words. Every little thing that occurs in this college football program or college football circus is going to impact the product on the football field. Mark my words. All right, reading along here, it says nothing was declared from any of Sanders' NIL projects, which were booked primarily through Smack Entertainment. And this is the entertainment company that they're with. This is the main thing that they brand themselves by. Shador, Shilo, Travis, and Coach Prime. Everything they do is marketing. This is why I'm totally adamant. I'm against it, because start winning first and dominating college football before you start doing all this stuff. Don't come in with that. He came in as if he's already got to the promised land, and you haven't. Yeah, as a player, you have. You have a yellow jacket. You've accomplished a lot in the NFL, but in terms of coaching, you haven't done anything yet. No one counts HBCU. No one counts that. All right. So Smack Entertainment. The top item line is for a Mercedes GLE AMG 635 valued at $75,000. That's the top item for Shilo. What do you wear? I don't know. I'll get you dressed in a second. Okay, let me finish this and I'll get you dressed. Okay.
We're going to a store and Bobby saw we're getting a sleepover.
Okay. All right. Let me finish this and I'll get you dressed. All right. So the top item line is for a Mercedes GLE AMG 635 valued at $75,000. The declared value of Sanders' assets was since readjusted to $320,477.10. I mean, they're going down to the cent without any NIL deals reported to the court. Wow. Like this is just exposing him. I mean, this could be some kind of a witch hunt for him, but it's not really stating facts. It's stating facts. This is what happens when in college football, you pose as a celebrity to a certain degree. You're the son of Sanders. The soul of Colorado football continues. So is this a circus or a program, or is it a program circus or a circus program? Either or, you take your pick. All right. Contrary to the schedules, Shilo has admitted acquiring vast amounts of high-end, expensive clothing. According to court documents, for example, on his YouTube channel, posted on May 4th, 2023, he states, all right, we at Louis Vuitton store, and I'm trying to spend at least $50,000 today. Omit all the Louis Vuitton wallets, bags, luggage, clothing, or shoes displayed on his Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube accounts. So this is just materialism on steroids. This is an orgy on vanities. What do I mean by orgy on vanities? It's an orgasm on vanities. Like, these things are meaningless. Here we are giving European, spending, giving them, making them rich, not putting your money, not invested it into something that's going to help your people, but you rather go spend thousands of dollars on frivolous things that in months from now that you're not going to care about, and then you post it like an idiot. Yeah, I said it. And I say that respectfully. This is idiotic behavior. This is not an adult behavior. And Shilo Sanders is an older football player. He's not like he's 18, 19. I think he's 23, I believe, 22, 23. He should have a little bit more sense. But again, I'm going to have people in comments telling me this is part of marketing, and he's marketing these things, he's getting paid for it. I'm not marketing anything made by Europeans. I market things that are made by brown-skinned people and things from the motherland, Africa. That's what I'm going to market. And I don't care how unpopular it is. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. And if you want to have nice things, go for it. But stop posting it. I don't know why they're big on posting stuff. That's the part that I can't understand, especially when you are part of a college football team. But see, there goes the disconnect. Like, they have this mentality that it's us and it's y'all. And I'm talking about the dynamic of the football team, the haves and the have-nots. And I don't know. Do what you want to do, but I don't think it's a good judgment call to post your stuff. I don't think it's a good judgment call. Maybe when you get out of college, and maybe when you get when you get to the NFL, you can do that if you want to. But when you're a young college, when you're around other 18, 19, 20-year-olds and you're doing stuff like that, that doesn't sit well with them. They're not going to tell you that, of course, but there's a bit of envy and jealousy that comes out of that. So reading along here, it says the documents went on to detail a lack of declaration of assets. The The schedules no mention of any number of partnership deals and or contracts with any agents and or managers included but not limited to Smack Entertainment, Well Off Media, Colorado University, Tabitha Plummer, Georgia Moskowitz, Constance Schwartz, and any other company, agents, or managers. So these are all the people that are part of the branding of Coach Prime and his sons. Remember, it's about Coach Prime's and his sons. All right. The Colorado University is just a tool. It doesn't matter what university they went to; they would use the university as a tool. So there's no affection here from an emotional standpoint.
I'm gonna take them to the store with me.
Okay.
So I can get some stuff for the sleepover.
All right. All right. So limited to Smack Entertainment and Well Off Media. So Colorado University is just a means to an end. It's not about football. It's about everything else. It's about the branding. It's about the entertainment. It's about this. It's about that. And when you place yourself as an entertainer, then you're going to get the recognition as an entertainer, and you're going to get people looking into your life, just like entertainment news. That that show that comes on when they're looking into the lives of celebrities and delving deep into their finances. This is not good, not for a football team. Maybe if Shilo had already graduated and left the team, this would be okay. But the fact that he's still on the team, this leaves a sort of a sour taste in my mouth. And tell me what you guys think. Is that okay, or you think it's no big deal? At the meeting of creditors, Shilo claimed to possess little to no knowledge of the formation of workings of Big 21 LLC and SS 21 LLC, except that Shilo is the sole owner of each entity, that the entities are the purported vehicles for contracting to pay promotional appearances and or name, image, and likeness, which stands for NIL, name, image, and likeness, NIL, transactions of Shilo. He also fails to address in the schedules the NIL deals, contracts, and or payments made to him and or to his companies for any of the obvious paid engagements. Reading along here. The bankruptcy, let me see if I'm lagging. Okay, I'm not lagging. All right. The bankruptcy proceeding was filed after Sanders lost a civil lawsuit in 2022 that stemmed from an alleged assault of a security guard at his Dallas high school in 2015. So he assaulted a security guard. So I was kind of curious to see what the lawsuit was. I'm like, what did he do? All right, hold on real quick. Let me respond to this message. I'll continue. Let me. Okay. A lawsuit filed in Dallas District Court in 2016 alleged the security guard alleged. Let me read this again. I'm sorry. A lawsuit filed in Dallas District Court in 2016 alleged the security guard John his cervical spine, permanent neurological injuries, and irreversible incontinence. Do you guys know what incontinence means? It means you don't know when you need to use the restroom, because if it's a neurological problem, it's going to infect the neurological receptors to the brain that gives him the signal that you need to go use the restroom. So this guy is essentially pissing and shitting on himself without knowing it. Golly, did you beat him that? Wow, he beat him that bad? Ooh. Now, of course, they say allegedly, but goodness, I mean, what did he get? Was he jumped, or this is just something that? Let me keep reading here. Goodness, Shilo, man, ooh. You man, okay, let me read this. A lawsuit filed in Dallas District in 2016 alleged the security guard John Darjan had sustained severe and permanent injuries, including a broken neck, damage to his cervical spine, permanent neurological injuries, and irreversible incontinence, according to a 2024 filing in the bankruptcy proceedings. Irreversible incontinence, that means that he can't even get better. He's always going to be pissing and shitting on himself without knowing it. That's crazy. These injuries were allegedly caused when Sanders elbowed and continued to hit Darjan during an altercation. What did he hit him with? A weapon, a gun, a pole? That's a severe beating. When you have spinal damage, that's Yikes. Woo. I was always wondering, like, what's the lawsuit about? I see. Sanders failed to appear in court before the 11.89 million judgment was levied against him. Here's a detailed filing from the plaintiff in the case with the full story. Yikes. Oh, this is it here. I want cannot clicked on it here. It's taking me here. Okay, I'll have to see if I can. No, it won't let me do it. Yes, it will. Hold on. Maybe it will. Hold on. Let me stop sharing here and open up this one and share this one here. Whoa, this dude here. A beating of the ages. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. It's probably too small for your screen. It's small for me too. Let me see if I almost beat out of him. The dude shot almost killed him. Irreversible incontinence. So this guy's a grown man pissing and shitting on himself. He probably wears diapers because of what Shilo did to him. That's crazy. That's insane. Okay, the attorney, okay, doesn't say that. It says, okay, this is awesome. And then I'm trying to go here to the important stuff. The attorneys has some address information. The creditor, U.S. party, debtor, nature of suit, number up to 5 boxes. Okay, the nature of the suit says 68. Dischargeability, 523 says willful and malicious injury. Willful and malicious injury, meaning that he had intent. He willfully did it. He knew what he was doing. And that's a big accusation. I mean, he had to. Unless he's going to file insanity, which I doubt he does. And then here, there's a check here. It says declaratory judgment. So this is the plaintiff document here. This is the plaintiff document here. And there's another one here. It says bankruptcy case in which this adversary proceeding arises. The name, blah, 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 Colorado, Division Denver. Name of the judge is Michael E. Romero. And it says the signature of the attorney is Jeff Caruth, yada, yada, yada. January of 2024. Plaintiff, defendant. Nothing put there. Moving on. And it says the case entered on January 29th. Okay. Shilo Sanders. In response, he's the debtor. He's a debtor. And then the plaintiff is John Darjan. Plaintiff's original complaint for non-dischargeable debt. Ooh, he owes him some money, man. Introduction. Okay, this is just some table of contents stuff. Wow. Ooh, man. He beat the crap out of this guy. And this guy wants to get paid. He wants to get paid. So yeah, you owe that much. Yeah, you file bankruptcy. You don't have anything. Maybe this will make him play a little bit harder on the football field. Maybe this will put him back in that mud mentality. I have nothing. I have to come from the mud now. Because sometimes having a lot of luxury, it stymies the incentive to actually go harder. Because what incentive do you have? If you aren't playing to make millions in the NFL, and you already have that now, what's the incentive to go to the NFL? You're already living like you're in the NFL already. All right. And then he's young. He's young. Based upon the way he's acting with his money, you can tell that he's young. Posting things. I don't know why our people do that, man. We're so materialistic. It must be something to do with our DNA, that we came from gold and that we are the original gods of the planet. So it's kind of like we feel like it's our God-given right to shine, but the Europeans have used that against us. They've waged on psychologically, and they use, because you never see really rich people shining or flossing their stuff like that. You don't even know rich people are rich. People have real wealth, don't show it off. But for some reason, we get a little bit of money. We just got to show the world, look at what I got. I don't know. It has to be tied to our genetics, our DNA, or epigenetic. It has to be tied to something, because we all do it. We have to fight that urge. Because you can always tell when a black man is rich. They're going to show you. Or a brown man is rich. I hate using the word black. When a brown-skinned person is rich, you're going to see it. If a Caucasian is rich, you won't tell. Okay, so I just got through going through the plaintiff's report, and I just showed that to you guys. So I'm down here. All right. It says Sanders is expected to be out for the start of the season after shoulder surgery to repair damage right after Colorado's spring game. This story will be updated. So that's it. That's it. So it's not a good start for Shilo right now. So hopefully this puts everything back in perspective and puts him in the same mentality as his other teammates who are using football as the only way out. Because right now, Shilo and Shador and Travis already have their way out. More so Shilo and Shador. Travis Hunter seems to be of a different mindset. He doesn't come across, I could be wrong, but he doesn't come across as a person that operates like Shador and Shilo. He seems to be more reserved, very calculated, more wise than we give him credit for. Let me share, I don't want to be glitching. More wise than we give him credit for. And it seems that he seems to, even though he has a YouTube channel and stuff like that, him being married and having a relationship, there's something that happens when you have a female in your life. It domesticates you. It keeps you in line. There's a balance that's there. You're not just making decisions based upon adrenaline and testosterone. You have a little bit of feminine energy there to kind of, balance the scales a little bit. All right. You're not overly one-dimensional. So I think he has a good head on his shoulders. But yeah, so tell me what you guys think about this. Is this more of the circus? To me, this is more of the circus that's surrounding Colorado University. It's the program. The college program is the circuit. It's a programmed circus. It's a programmed circus. It's a reality show. It's keeping up with the Kardashians, but instead it's keeping up with the Sanders. It just happens to be they're part of a football program. If you took away coaching, if you took away the coaching aspect of Coach Prime in Colorado and just had their lives as a show, it would sell. But it sells more because it's tied to football. It's tied to a popular sport in America. And it has a father and son dynamic. So it's very enticing to kind of lure people in. People who are not even true passionate fans of football are watching to see what's going on. And I think it's serving its purpose, but it's not about football. I don't see anybody else, any other football team around the world, around the globe, around college football going through the same things. And if they are, it's hidden. You don't see it. You don't see it. And that's the way it should be. The only thing we should see is the football product. Everything else, unless it's like an egregious crime, then of course it comes out. But all these little details, we don't need to know all that. But it's known because we have idiots that are posting their stuff on TikTok and post their stuff on YouTube, showing off their money. You have football players that are skipping teams' first meetings to go do a photo shoot in Paris. But yet Cormani is the one that's immature. I'm going to keep bringing up Cormani's name because remember, he was the problem, right? He was the one that was immature. He's the one that needed to be developed. He had all these issues. But we don't give him a break. But we give the Sanders kids, we give them a break. And they're older. They're older. Remember, Cormani was a baby. He just got out of high. He just left prom. He was a baby. He's a freshman. Let's give him a little bit of grace here. And please keep the same energy that you kept for Cormani. Keep the same energy with Shilo. Yes, he did these things in 2015. Almost beat a man to death. Irreversible incontinence. Neurological damage. Spinal injuries. And then didn't even show up to court. Now he's making all this money. Hey, what you do in the dark comes out in the light. And just because you think that you may think that you've got past something, no, it comes back. It comes back for you. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think. And again, this is just another added addition to what's going on with Colorado that has nothing to do with football. Nothing to do with football. And the news cannot be good for the team chemistry of the football team. It's about money. I wonder what those players on the football team are thinking right now. What's going on in their heads? It's a clown show. We're just part of the show. We're not the show. We're a part of the show. And that truth in and of itself reeks of division. Just by itself. We are part of the show. No, we are supposed to be the show. And the only show that we're supposed to be putting on is the show on the football field on game day. But yet, there's more talk about things off the field than things on the field. Let's see how they play this season. Let's see how they look on the football field in terms of their wins and losses. What kind of product are we going to see this year? Because you can't say this article is hating. They were just stating facts. You could call me a hater if you want, but I'm used to that by now. All right. Thank you guys for listening. And leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think. Till next time. All right. Bye-bye.